Hi folks, Pat Healy here for the Laker News. We're here at the groundbreaking ceremony for the turf field here at Lockview High.
Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for coming out on this very crazy day. But I think this is kind of the way this whole program has been. It's been obstacles after obstacles, but it's nothing that we can't overcome. So weather being included. But what I want to say is that, so I'm Rita Niggum, and I am the president of the Turf Committee, and I'll be your MC for today. But before we start, I would like to acknowledge that Halifax Regional Municipality is located in the Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Our community and committee acknowledges and celebrates this history and with work within the community.
As was stated, this is the traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people, and we have treaties that span generations now, which represent our relationship to each other. And so I'm grateful for today that we are able to have this ceremony as a symbol of reconciliation for all of us.
I was given the honor of doing a blessing here in this event, and I'm very, very pleased. We come today to honor our Mother Earth and our sacred waters. We walk with our sincere gratitude for all the many blessings our Mother Earth provides. We walk for the water. We love you, Gizolo. We thank you, Walalan. We respect you. We do this, Gizol Creator, Chiminitu, so that our children and future generations will have a safer place to live and grow, and will always have clean water to drink, and we will always know to honor the sacredness of water and our Mother Earth. Sitnokmak, all our relations. Thank you very much.
It took us 5 years and a team effort to raise $4.9 million and to bring this facility into reality.
I can tell you, I don't even know who was in the office way back when they dropped in to visit. I think it was 2016, and they had a vision about building this all-weather turf. And at that time, it looked like a very challenging project, which it was a very challenging project, but it became more challenging as we got deeper into it. And at times we had to, get together and huddle and find another way of dealing with some of the issues. So it was quite complicated. So I do want to thank all Rita and your committee and your team and all the volunteers. I've always said that if we didn't have volunteers, 95% of everything we do in our communities would not be successful. So we can't thank you enough. And the fundraisers, when you have to raise $1 million, I don't know exactly the amount they raised, but $213,000. That's a lot of money in a community when you think about that, and it's challenging. So I want to thank everybody that had anything to do around the division, trying to rally up, if you want, the people to work on teams and get the energies behind that. But it was complicated in many areas because this actually was owned by the province, the land, and the federal government can't really give money to the province, so it became a big issue. We had to work around how do we get this turf recognized by the municipal government, which made it somewhat complicated. The point I want to make is it takes a community that has to contribute to make big things happen, and this is actually what happened here. And I committed from the start that I would deliver for this community on this project. If we had the municipal government, the provincial government, and I would make sure that the federal government would come in and do their share. And that's exactly what they did. It's 40% of the project, which is $1.960 million. And that's because it's very worthy. So I want to talk about community. If you want to build communities and allow communities to prosper and attract people to your communities, you got to have the infrastructure. Infrastructure is the key. Let it be roads, let it be building, let it be facilities. And I've always said that if you're going to bring people in, we want to keep them here. So to keep them here, you gotta create, and that's what we've done here. Now I can't describe this project any better than this. It's a very nasty day out here today, and we would be able to play on that field because it's a multi-purpose field. We would be able to play in the snow if we had to. And that's what's interesting about this field. It'll be here for a long, long time. We'll benefit from it, and the many generations after us will benefit from this. So on behalf of the federal government, and of course minister at the time was Dominic LeBlanc, they change ministers like they change their shirts around these days. But at the end of the day, I want to thank our government and the people that worked to support me in Ottawa to get that done. And I want to thank everybody here today that if you played any energy invested into this project, thank you very much, because the community will benefit for many years to come.
It's a lot of fun to see what's going on down behind there right now. It's going to be a mess for a long while yet, but it's worth the mess and it's worth the wait. And kudos again to the volunteers. It does take volunteer organizations in any community to move things forward. In this case, it took a long time to move forward and a lot of work, and it's not quite done yet. There's still need you. So, but it does take, it also takes funders to get behind it, and there's no two ways about it. This is a big project, and to see all three levels of government step up to this, it's a big deal. And one of my pet peeves, before I even thought about running for government, is how the tax dollars in every community around this area that surrounds this school doesn't get put back into community. This is the first big project, recreational wise, that's been put into the community. So now parents can watch their kids play on their own home field. Kids can play in their own community. They don't have to worry about playing a football game outside of community. They can play soccer games later into the season. You can, as Darryl mentioned, you can play on that any season whatsoever. So it's a humongous benefit. To be able to watch the seniors in the community have a level place to walk, it's a big deal. And to be able to have bleachers, to be able to have all of the things that bring community together and is centered around this school, that's a big deal. So I need to thank the volunteers, I need to thank the community.
It's interesting to hear three levels of government, you know, because we complement each other so well, don't we? That is the case, and it is because you complement each other, and when all three levels of government work together, we get to do some really amazing things. So to MP Darryl Sampson, when you talked about stick handling, well, if we didn't have you, there wouldn't have been a puck to play. And Brian, if we didn't have you doing what you were doing, then this wouldn't have happened either. So it really is about all of us. And I would like to also acknowledge that Councillor Billy Gillis is with us. Come on up, Billy, because this is part of our project too. This project was my very first motion as a councillor for District 1. And it was quite the journey for the volunteer Northern Suburban Area Turf Committee. It's the steadfast determination that this artificial turf field becomes a reality. It really is all of your work. Politicians did what we were elected to do, but the volunteers did the work. So HRM contributed, as Rita said, $1.127 million, and has the responsibility to build, to maintain, and to operate the facility. So for today, we celebrate the groundbreaking, and we thank Dexter's Construction, really, for tendering an acceptable bid, and we know that the quality of their work will be exceptional. You know, the primary reason for groundbreaking is to get people excited and to build momentum about a project. For us, it represents the second phase of a journey towards progress and growth. The first phase was raising the money, getting this started. Now we're in the second phase, we're building it. On behalf of HRM, thank you to everyone, donors, supporters, politicians, and volunteers. This is about our youth. Thank you.
But I also would like to mention that Councillor Lisa Blackburn was also part of the committee and worked very hard for us too.
When I came to Lockview 5 years ago, there's quite an extensive transition that takes place between principals when one is outgoing and one is incoming. And so in all of that, Bernie and I had long conversations about this project because I knew it was near and dear to your heart, and I accepted the responsibility to carry that forward, and I understood how important it was. So thank you for all the work you did before I came and for handing that over, the torch. On behalf of all the staff and students here at Lockview, I've been asked to thank Rita and the committee for all the work you've done over the last 5 years. What a lot of people don't understand is that the field is not going to just benefit our athletes. Every single student at Lockview is going to benefit from the field because we have grades 9 to 12. Every single grade 9 student takes phys ed, and this will enable them to come outside and do field activities. We haven't been able to do that after the end of September because the field gets really wet and it's not usable. So this is going to benefit every single student in our school, and for our athletes, for them to have home games here in their own community is going to be a huge source of pride, and it's going to be a huge source of pride for the whole school. So thank you so very much for everything, and our students were very excited to give their donation. And when the ground broke in October, the excitement was huge, and it's building with anticipation for the completion next fall.
Having lived in this Fall River for over 20 years, it's really, really exciting to see this entity in our community now. As we've heard, this will promote physical activity and sport participation in the school. But after school hours and around the year, it'll be for the whole community. More sport participation and having it in our community helps build community, helps people come and watch, and just that connection. Connecting with each other is as important for our health as being physically active. And the fact that it's, the walking track that's included in this makes it for the whole community, promoting physical activity for everybody. And I'm really excited that it's also accessible, so everybody in our community, regardless of their physical abilities, will be able to be included in using this facility.
It's been a pleasure to work on the fundraising committee. And I know it's been said about the 3 levels of government, but when you're asking for money, it's probably one of the hardest things to do. And to constantly go out and ask people for money. And Sarah, Troy, and Rita and myself had great success, and a real pleasure to work with our 3 levels of government, being able to go out and talk to members of the community and see the support that was generated. We came together and raised $213,000 in a very short period of time, which was exceptional. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to recognize the people that made a donation or contribution over $10,000 in order for this to happen. Because of the contribution in excess of $10,000, there will also be a plaque that will reside at the field, and it will have all the names of our major gift givers as well. So we have here today Giuliano from our own Path Health and Wellness. So thank you very much. Some exciting things you'll see in the upcoming days with a new venture that Giuliano has coming as well. LWF Ratepayers Association, Lindsay Construction, Lara, the Wellington and Fall River Fire Departments, so 42, 43, and 45. Gerald Mitchell Contracting, Fraba, Dexter's Construction, Councillor Lisa Blackburn, and Councillor Kathy Daigle-Gammon. And our chicken wing sales, which was the Lions Club, made a very generous gift as well. So continue to support that. They're doing wonderful things in the community as well. All the gifts had a significant impact, and I keep hearing from people that they're driving into the school and seeing the excavators and seeing the work that is being done, and very pleased to see what the gifts that they've made and how it's going. So look forward to seeing everybody in the spring, and thanks once again for your contributions.
What an exciting day for the groundbreaking ceremony on the almost $5 million turf field here in Fall River. Thank you to Merida Law for sponsoring this video story. Pat Healy for the Laker News in Fall River.